Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and Vlogmas Day 19. Today I make my two favorite Christmas cookie recipes. First, we will be making chocolate chip cookies using the tried and true Nestle Tollhouse chocolate chip cookie recipe. What you'll need for this recipe is flour, baking soda, salt, butter, granulated sugar, brown sugar, vanilla extract, eggs, and chocolate chips. I used milk chocolate ones, but you could use semi-sweet or dark. I'm also going to be using a 5-speed mixer and a lot of different glass bowls. I preheated my oven to 365 degrees instead of 375 degrees Fahrenheit like the recipe says to. First, you'll add 2 1/4 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, and 1 teaspoon of salt to a medium-sized bowl. Mix it well and set it aside for later. I used fine sea salt rather than table salt, but again, that's up to you. Now take a small bowl and put 2 sticks or 1 cup of butter in it. Put it in the microwave until it's completely softened. Once the butter is soft, add it to a large mixing bowl. Combine 3/4 cups of granulated sugar, 3/4 cups of packed brown sugar, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract into that same bowl and beat that mixture until it's creamy. Next, you'll add your eggs to the bowl one at a time, mixing it in completely between each one. Now you'll add your flour mixture extremely slowly, mixing it thoroughly every time you add some more. Stir in your bag of chocolate chips with your spatula, and I used 2 spoons to get the dough onto the cookie sheet. I put each batch in for 9 minutes, and when they're done, I just put another batch in and put the baked ones onto a wire rack to cool them down. The trick is to clean up as you go so you don't have a huge mess. I love chocolate chip cookies, and I always save a little dough and put it in the fridge, even though you definitely should not do that. Now we're gonna make Santa surprise cookies. These are just delicious, amazing, and perfect. What you'll need is butter, creamy peanut butter, brown sugar, granulated sugar, eggs, vanilla extract, flour, baking soda, salt, Snickers, and chocolate chips. I went ahead and softened the butter the same way I did with the chocolate chip cookie recipe, or you could just let it sit out overnight, but I did not do that, and this works just fine for me. Next, you want to sift your flour. I didn't have a sifter, so I just used a strainer, and it worked perfectly fine. Now, put the 2 sticks or the 1 cup of butter into the large mixing bowl. Add a cup of creamy peanut butter, 1 cup of brown sugar, and a cup of granulated sugar to that bowl. Mix the combination until it's light and fluffy. I once again use my 5-speed mixer. You're gonna add 2 eggs. You're gonna add them each one at a time, mixing between each one just like we did with the other recipe. Then add 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract and mix. Now go back to your bowl that has the sifted flour in it and add 1 teaspoon of baking soda and half a teaspoon of salt to that and mix it up. You'll want to add the flour mixture to the bowl the same way you did with the recipe before, slowly mixing it completely each time you add more. Once your mixture is combined completely, you'll want to cover and chill your dough for at least 2 to 3 hours. I think I waited about 4 to 5. It's really just whenever I had the time to deal with it. In the meantime, unwrap your Snickers candies. The recipe calls for mini-sized Snickers, but I couldn't find those, so I used fun-size ones and I cut them in half, and they were about the same exact size. But I ate about half the bag before making these cookies because I have issues, so I had to use 2 regular-sized Snickers bars that Nolan went out and got, and I cut those into 5 even pieces. To make a cookie, just take some dough out. The recipe calls for 1 tablespoon, I believe, but I definitely did more than that. You're gonna roll the dough into a ball, and then you're gonna flatten it and place one of your Snickers pieces in the middle, and then just roll it back up around it into a ball. You'll wanna put these cookies on a greased cookie sheet at 300 degrees Fahrenheit. I put them in for 10 minutes a batch. I let the cookies cool on a wire rack overnight so that the next morning I was able to melt chocolate and drizzle it all over. You could add powdered sugar or whatever you want. There's lots of different options, but my mom always used to make these and she would always put drizzled chocolate on top. It's a little extra chocolate, so it's really good. The trick I found when I went through the process of trying to melt chocolate that was just regular chocolate chips was that adding some melted butter really made a difference. That's what made it liquidy enough for me to use the whisk to make it somewhat of a drizzle on the cookies. It's not the prettiest, but it does the trick. All right, that's my whole entire cooking recipe with all these cookies. I hope you go ahead and make these Santa Snicker surprises. And if you have a chocolate chip cookie recipe that you use, I'm telling you, try the Nestle Tollhouse. It's on the back of the bag of chocolate chips. It is amazing. It has never failed me. And I have the degrees of the oven 10 degrees lower than it says, and I think it gets it done perfectly. I hope you enjoyed. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe because I'm uploading every single day until Christmas, and Vlogmas is almost over. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you guys in my next video. Bye!